Hi friends, my name is Rebecca from Sacred Reiki Healing here, and I'm so excited to be coming here doing a beautiful energy update for us coming into December 19th through to the 26th. And for all of those who are celebrating holidays, happy holidays. I hope you all have a beautiful week this week with your families, with your friends, with your soul friends and connections. Whatever you're doing, I am sending you so much love and well wishes. I'm so excited. This is like one of my favorite times of the year. So I am really excited to see what this week has in store for us. So I'm going to be referencing my notes as we go, because as you guys know, if you're familiar with my updates, there's always so much that just wants to come through. So today was no exception. As I sat down to meditate, there was just so much wanting to come through, and all very light and exciting energies. So let's dive into that. So our first theme for this week is rest and renewal. So we have this continuation of themes that we've had formerly. So the past few weeks, I want to say even back from October, we've been getting this huge message to slow down, to really get in touch with our divine feminine energy, to really nurture ourselves, to check in with our physical bodies as well. So important. So with that, we have a continuation of this week. So really allowing ourselves that attention, that rest, and really touching base with ourselves. Are we really engaging in that rest and in that rejuvenation? Because I've said this so many times, and I feel like I have to say it again for this week. Are we focused when we are engaging in those activities? So when we do self-care, we can take a bath, or we can do those meditations, or do those things that technically should help us rest. And we can do those actions, but are we actually engaging in that? Are we feeling rested, or is our mind somewhere else? Are we feeling the love that we're supposed to be experiencing through these actions? And if not, we need to really allow ourselves to come to that awareness and go, okay, what can I do that really does put me in that state of surrender, that really does allow me to really let go and rest and rejuvenate my body, my mind, my spirit, that allows me to get out of my own way. Because I'm hearing a lot of us are getting kind of stuck in this repetitive pattern where we're doing the actions and we're getting frustrated because we're still tired. So it's like, really analyze, why am I still feeling tired? Why am I still feeling worn out? And if that's the case, really check in. Are you really doing self-care, and are you doing it the way you need to? And of course, this is going to look different for every single person. So you as an individual, what gives you that rest? What gives you the replenishment? And I know for me, it's always been a bath. Like, I need a bath, and I've recognized this as one of my actual needs, because when I take a bath and I allow myself to just surrender, and I'll put on some music, I'll light some candles, like, I will make it a whole experience for myself, because I know that the minute I'm in that water, it grounds me. It helps me feel light. It helps remove energies that I've picked up from over the day. It refreshes my energy fields. And that's one form of self-care that for me, I need to regularly engage in, because it always works, and it works for me. And that might not be the same for one of you. So it's like, really go into it. What is an activity that I can engage in that really actually gives me that rejuvenation? Okay, so really big. So we have these notes here of making plans to unmake plans. And I love how this came through. At first I was like, oh, I'm a little confused when this came through, but it all made a lot of sense when it came through. So what I was hearing here, it's like, how can you unbusy yourself? How can you undo constant plans? So if you're somebody who's a doer, and I would very much identify as one of those people where I'm like, constantly thinking 10 steps ahead, multitasking things. I'm so excited for life. I want to do all these things. And because of that, we get so busy. And sometimes it's unintentional. It just happens. But what I'm really hearing this week, it's like, unmake those plans, because it's like, how can I now instead plan to have actual time for myself? And I'm hearing some of us literally need to schedule it in. So it's like, when you know you get that point in the day where you get tired and you actually could use some rest, can you actually prioritize that? Can you actually block off an hour or do what's possible for you to make sure you are meeting that need? Okay, so I'm really hearing prioritize your health, your well-being, while remaining grateful for all that you have. So this was super interesting. With the well-being aspect, really want to talk about mental health the past week and moving into this week as well. So really check in. Where are you with your mental health? How is your actual well-being? Are you engaging in thoughts that are conducive to your goals, conducive to uplifting you? Or are we engaging in thoughts regularly that are bringing us down, that are diminishing us, that are taking us further away from where we actually want to be? And I'm hearing some of us need to be extremely honest with this theme here. And it's like, what I'm hearing the antidote is gratitude. So if we're in a negative spiral, if we notice ourselves being more in negativity than positivity throughout the day, it's like, how can I give myself that little kick in the pants, that recognition here, and go, oh, okay, I'm responsible for how I view life. I'm responsible for my thoughts, my perceptions, my actions. So how can I reel these back, and how can I instead choose consciously what thoughts I'm partaking in, what things I actively want to choose to think and feel about myself? Because all of these thoughts are like little waves, okay? And that's what they're kind of showing me. It's like these electric waves of these messengers that are going flooding through ourselves, flooding through our being, our bodies, and every bit of us is listening to what we're telling it. So it's like being very mindful to see where our thoughts have actually been manifesting things that we don't want, and how we can course correct that as well. So with our mental health, really check in, where am I at? And how can I get the help that I need if I am struggling in this? So really reach out to those around you, and really be mindful of calling yourself out when you're partaking in thoughts that you know are only going to manifest and materialize what you don't want, as opposed to prioritizing the energy into things that are conducive to yourself, that uplift you, that promote love, happiness, vibrancy in your life, and actually work towards your goals, to what you're trying to build. Because I'm hearing we need to start being a little bit more logical when it comes to our emotions and our thoughts and how we're engaging in that. And that's where that balance comes in within the divine feminine and the divine masculine, where we're not going into destructive patterns. So super important. And that antidote, back to that, so our gratitude. So if we find ourselves in these negative spirals this week, finding something to be grateful for can really shift our energies very quickly. So what I'm hearing is, even if you don't feel like it, even if you're not feeling good, it's like, how can I start doing things that I know can put me in a better vibration? So what I'm kind of seeing is, like, the minute you're in that bad mood, checking ourselves and going, okay, I'm going to own I'm in a bad mood. I'm going to own that I'm thinking negatively. And now what can I do to get out of this? How can I shift the energy? How can I take responsibility for myself and how I'm thinking and viewing life? And so I'm seeing a lot of us needing to literally stop and go, okay, I need to go to my journal. I need to get out these negative thoughts. I need to get this out, let it leave my body. I don't want to let it harvest. So I'm seeing productive ways to get it out, right? Working out, writing, creating, whatever you need to do to get that energy out of you, do so. And then come back and go, okay, now what am I grateful for? What can put me in a state of gratitude? And it's like, once again, taking ownership of our energies this week is super important, and how that can really shift. And I'm seeing so many of us be kind of amazed at how well this will work for us. So really prioritize these little tricks this week, as I'm seeing it be very helpful. So next we have abundance mindset. So this was such a beautiful theme that I wanted to present. So we have recognizing abundance in all forms and seeing that it comes when you really believe you already have it. So once again, kind of carrying through this theme of gratitude a bit, really cultivating this abundance mindset. So once again, I'm seeing a lot of us need to take control of our mind, so our mental health, what we're thinking every day, and how much energy is going to what we actually want and not want. So being very mindful of prioritizing where those are going, okay? So with this abundance mindset, really recognizing what is already here, what has already happened in your life that makes you feel grateful, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel that gratitude in your heart. And I mean real gratitude, okay? So a lot of times we can immediately roll off the tongue those few things that are very generic, like, oh, I'm happy for my family, I'm happy I have this, I'm grateful that I have a job, I'm grateful. But it's like, are you really? Okay, so once again, getting real, because we can say all these things, but we need to have the feeling. So it's the same with affirmations. When we say an affirmation, if we don't actually believe it, if our heart's not actually in that affirmation, we don't have that feeling behind it, it's kind of useless. We're just saying things. And our mind is very smart. It's like, well, I know you're lying. I know you don't believe this, right? So it's like, I want you this week to really go in and go, what am I actually grateful for? And I want you to connect with that feeling of gratitude. So what I'm really hearing is really feel that emotion flood through you and focus and harness on that feeling, on that emotion, because as we all know, emotions are so powerful. And when we have that emotion backing our manifestations, backing our motivation for life and what we're doing in our goals, oh, that's one of the highest vibrations that we can literally put ourselves in. So with this shifts that abundance. We're able to attract it so much quicker. We're able to actually be in that state of abundance more so the more we're in gratitude and the more we're grateful for what we already have. And that's what I was really hearing come through for us this week is the more we see that abundance already in our life, no matter how small, and we say thank you for that, it's like that's what ushers in more. So really slow down this week and really take stock of even the littlest things that really add to your life, that add to your day, maybe even things you've taken for granted. Perhaps you've taken for granted your partner, perhaps you've taken for granted the friendships that you do have in your life. We can sometimes get so fixated on what's not working in our lives or what we want to fix or change that we totally disregard what has already come in, what is already present. And so this week I'm really seeing us need to make these little course corrections and these shifts in our perspectives to really focus on what is already there and feeling truly that gratitude in our hearts for that. And that's what really creates these outward shifts and brings in that abundance that much more. So really allow yourself to do that. So with that, I'm going to just read my notes here. We have gratitude is the quickest route to joy. Okay, so this is the next thing. Prioritize more joy in your life. The best is yet to come. Okay, so this is beautiful because what I'm really getting with this statement, it's like so far, the past few years, we have seen a lot of suffering. We have experienced a lot of traumatic things in life, even on a global scale. And I'm seeing a lot of us really struggle leaving and shifting those events and those effects that we went through and those experiences. And with that, we've kind of gotten in this cycle of partaking in what's wrong, right? So what else is going to happen? What's next? And throughout the pandemic, there was so much of that where I was like, and then another thing, and then another, lockdown, another wave, all these fears and all of these anticipated, almost like worst outcomes that kept coming forward. And I feel like what they're kind of showing me is like we just kept getting hit again and again by this wave of disappointment, this wave of sadness, of suffering. And we kind of got in this cycle where we're now expecting it. And a lot of times, pandemic or regardless, in life, we have these experiences that kind of get us stuck in that pattern where we're expecting the worst case scenarios to really happen. And with that, I'm seeing with so many of us trying to manifest a new chapter now and really step into the fullness and trueness of ourselves, we need to let go of this pattern of expecting the worst case scenario, of expecting something bad to happen, expecting that next wave of disappointment. And they're saying, within reason, because we have to see life on life's terms. We can't expect everything to always work out the way we want it to, the way we dream, because we're in the human experience and life is unpredictable. So I'm hearing we need to see life on its terms, in all honesty of the human experience, but also let go of the need to create and manifest something to stop us or block us or that worst case coming in. So it's like, stop thinking that way. Allow yourself to see the endless possibilities that are available to you, okay? And with that, it's like the more we focus on what's already here, what we already have, and we bring in this element of joy, the more we're able to conquer this cycle and cut that from our energies. So I'm really hearing, how can we prioritize joy now, recognizing that chapter is closed, that chapter is done, it's time to move on. So wrapping up those loose ends and really putting those things to closure within us that are kind of expecting those worst case scenarios, and really recognizing that we are safe now, okay? And I mean this in every term where it's like, okay, we are the leaders of our lives. We are the ones who are resilient. We're responsible for ourselves. We can now take ourselves by the hand and take us forward no matter what is happening around us. And so with that, I'm really hearing here, it's like, allow yourself to choose joy, regardless of what is happening around you. And allow yourself to take this week especially into consideration of finding an excuse to be grateful, finding an excuse to be happy, regardless of what happens, And with that, I'm seeing that really propel us forward. So really, really beautiful. So from there, we have forward action and stillness. Okay, so this is very interesting. We had two different kind of contradictory energies here. So forward action and stillness. And I thought, once again, when this came in, I was like, okay, more information, please. I need to understand this a bit more. And so what came through there, it was like releasing stigmas around action and movement. And this was so interesting. So what I wrote next was move with ease and grace towards your goals. Move gently, no more forcing. So this was super interesting. So what I'm hearing, we're learning, it's like how to take forward action, how to take forward movement in life, but with ease and grace, without the need to force, without the need to put all this unnecessary pressure on ourselves, stress, anxiety, this need to perform, all of those motivators that are really fear-based. And we're now shifting our motivators for our actions to a love-based motivation. And with that, I saw so much beauty coming in. And I want to read this statement. It says, when we force, we are being motivated by fear, not love. So that really struck me, how much of our forward momentum and movement and drive is actually motivated from fear. And they're kind of using this example of, well, I need to, we'll use this example, I need to create a whole new life for myself because the life I have right now isn't going to provide or meet my needs. So it's like, I need to create a new job and I need to do it right now so I can be safe, right? So we see how this translates to safety for a lot of us, and how we have this very strong fear-based motivator that we're not safe where we are. And we can take this as a lesson from past experiences, from how society pushes things, how we need to perform, how we need to get to this place, or we're unworthy, or we're a failure in life. All of these things are fear-based. So it's like, how about we flip the script, so to speak, and really allow ourselves to go into what's actually motivating me, and having that honesty, and then going, what can I now choose to be my motivation? Is it because I actually want to have a better life for myself? Can I let that be my motivation? Can I let, love be that motivation for me? And so moving forward into grace as well was super prevalent here. And with that, it's like, how can I take graceful movement? How can I take charge with ease? So instead of, once again, getting up first thing in the morning and going, I need to complete all these tasks and I need to do it right now, and I need to get everything done in this very short time frame because this is the expectation I have of self, and I need to because of fear, we're now going to shift this to, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning and go, okay, what's a loving way for me to start my day today? How can I start off my day right? Does that mean that I need to sit for a minute and allow myself to wake up? Does that, does that mean I need to set my alarm a little earlier so I can perhaps do a little journaling? Can I do a little meditation for 5 minutes that just allows me to clear my mind, to focus my energies and my intentions for the day? Do I need to do some movement, some yoga that puts me in a really good mood, that relaxes me, that releases any tension from myself, so I can start my day on the right foot, right? So it's like all these different examples of how we really need to shift things to a love-based motivator, because this is what we all want. We want to live a love-based story. We want to be able to live life on our terms. So it's like, are we doing that right now? Because that's what's manifesting, what we think and what we do right now. So it's like, how can I take ownership of that every single day and really make sure that I am living that love-based story and not waiting for it to come to me. I have to do that action. So beautiful prompts coming forward for us this week. So really be mindful of where you're forcing and checking yourself and go, okay, this is me getting back into that struggle and strive mentality that I no longer want to partake in. So what's the loving thing for me to do now? Do I need to take a break? Do I need to excuse myself and then come back later when I'm in a better mindset? Doing those things will really allow you to show up for yourself. And those things are all loving actions that all add up to cultivating real self-love. Okay, so don't ignore that. So I have here, make love your daily motivation and journal, what is loving for me today? And next here we have, how often are we engaging in radical love? I love this so much. So with that, how often in our day-to-day lives are we actually engaging in love? Okay, something to really think about. And this was so huge. There's a special emphasis on this one for this week. So really be mindful of the reality. Every day, do I make space in my heart? Do I make space in my schedule? Do I make time to really be in a state of love? And if not, why not? And how can I make that change? So I really want you to take a moment here to just center yourself and really go into that. Pause the video if you need to, take a breath or two and go, okay, what am I doing when I really feel that love? What activity makes me feel that way? And I'll use the example of when I first connected with my guides ever. And the unconditional love that I felt was so unimaginable for me that in that moment, I burst into tears because it was so pure. It was so unselfish in that respect, where it's like, I didn't need to do anything. I was just being given this beautiful sensation of love. And with that, it's like really being mindful, how often do we actually engage in that sort of love? Do we allow ourselves that time for connecting, really connecting with each other, with our guides, whatever that is for you, and being very aware of how that makes a difference in our lives, how that can literally fill our cup in such inexplicable ways. So be mindful, how often am I actually engaging in love and in that energy? And if not, why not? And how can I make the course corrections once again to really fill my life with love? Because once more, that's what we all want. We all want to be loved. We all want to feel love. So are you giving that to yourself? Are you making that part of your everyday? Because once again, that's what manifests. Okay, really beautiful. So how can we live in love? And how can we grasp, create, and seize opportunities to love? Okay, so really think about this this week. So from there, we have a theme of celebration and success. So we are the only ones that are accountable for our lives, and how are we showing up? So this is really interesting. Really hearing here that we need to celebrate all that we've come through, how far we have come in our journey, in our healing, in whatever it is that you've been working on lately, and really seizing those opportunities to celebrate how far you've come. So really loving this one. And with this accountability aspect, it's once again, we don't need to wait for outward praise. We don't need to wait for others to acknowledge our successes and to celebrate them. We are the ones that need to take that initiative, that need to take the driver's seat and go, you know what? Yeah, I did that. I can do hard things. I was able to triumph over my challenges. Look how far I've come this year. And that's what I'm really hearing is needed this week, is to celebrate all that you've accomplished, all that you have created, all that you have come through, even the hard things in life. And it's like really celebrating them. And once again, hearing such an emphasis on feeling everything this week. So backing everything up with that emotion, really feeling that energy. And that is so healing for us when we actually do that and we triumph over those successes and we really celebrate them. It really adds to our life experience and how we feel, right? So really beautiful. So what I wrote here was celebrate this year and all the success you've had. You have come so far. You've made it, okay? We're about to enter a whole new year. Like, look at all you have done. So really give yourself that time to do that this week. And what I wrote next was ride the waves of happiness and bliss. Give yourself full permission, okay? Loving this so much. So riding the waves of happiness and bliss. Imagine, right? Imagine really being in that, happy all the time, blissful all the time. It's like we can create that reality for ourselves, and kind of carrying through that theme of paradise on earth from last week. It's like we have that opportunity to create it right now. We don't have to wait. We don't have to put our happiness and joy off. This is something we can do at any time we choose to do it. So it's like setting those intentions. Today, I am just going to love life. Today, I'm just going to partake in all that I can be grateful for. And it's like, watch how your life shifts. Watch how things majestically and magically change when you seize these opportunities to do that and create it for yourself, okay? So a lot about empowering ourselves here this week and seizing those opportunities to thrive. So what I wrote next was try living life in your way, okay? Giving yourself permission to engage in new. So a lot about newness this week as well, and trying things differently, doing things in a way that's totally new for yourself, and really living life once again on our terms. What does that look like for you? So with that, it's like try engaging in new behaviors, new ways of being, new ways of doing things, and accomplishing your goals. And huge highlight on adapting new habits, creating new intentions for change, because the universe is listening. So it's really seeing a lot of manifestation energy this week, and how that really propels when we do things like this. So what would life look like if you were living fully in your authenticity, fully on your terms, your rules for life? Like, what would that look like? Okay. And it's like, don't imagine it, create it, right? Brainstorm. What does that really look like for you on a daily level? And really start doing those actions to create that manifestation now. Okay. Loving that. So rejoice. I'm seeing deliverance here being a theme. This is another thing that I'm really seeing present in the collective. It's like we're wrapping up the end of the year. We're wrapping up the challenges and the things that we've come through and the hardships that we've faced. And sometimes we can get in a bit of that victim mindset where it's like, I just wish all my problems would go away. I just wish that someone would come in and rescue me and save me. And what I'm really seeing is this week we're taking that power back and we're going, no, actually, I'm the one who's responsible for myself. I'm the one who can rescue myself. I'm the one who can make the forward change. And this huge empowerment energy comes in with that. So it's absolutely stunning energy that I'm seeing. So what I wrote here was claim your own deliverance. Don't get stuck in victim patterns or victim mentalities. Recognize you can claim yourself. You can claim the change. No one is coming to rescue us. We are the leader of our lives. So if you're overcoming some challenges, if things come your way this week, or if you've seen some persistent things that keep coming forward for you, instead of going, oh, here we go again, and getting in that downward spiral, it's like, okay, how can I now brainstorm some solutions that can actually change and shift things for me? And how can I deliver myself from these challenges, from these issues? And I'm seeing such a huge shift this week when we do that within our energies. So next we have a theme of clarity. I'm seeing a lot of us need to lift the fog. So if there's been things you've been unsure about, if there's been questions you've had, I'm really seeing a lot of us need to go into that and actually do what's necessary to get that clarity. So setting intentions before you meditate, asking your guides, and having conversation, okay? Because I'm really hearing a lot of us need to get better at that, where it's like, okay, I need to actually speak my needs. I can't expect my guides to just do everything for me. I can't expect others to do everything for me. So once again, asking and speaking up, hey, I need help with this specific problem. I need help. Okay, this is what we're needing to say this week. So if things come up, I'm just hearing, really set that to your angels, to your guides. We'll use the example of our angels here. Thank you, angels, for helping me with this specific challenge, and really use those specifics, okay? Because I'm seeing that be very important, and you'll be amazed when you surrender that problem to the universe, what solutions start surfacing and helping you get that clarity you need to move forward, okay? Also speaking to friends, I'm seeing us really need to reach out to friends this week, family connections that we feel a soul and heart connection with, and allowing them to show up for us, okay? To take what we need and to claim that, okay? It's okay for you to ask for help. So moving into that, theme of asking for help, which has also been a strong one the past while. It's like, do you want to continue to stay in the pattern where you can't ask for help? Okay, this I thought was super interesting. As we start creating this love-based life, as we start stepping into the newness of this new chapter, this new us, this new you, what do you really want that to look like? Do you want to stay in the state of being so severely independent you can never ask for help? You can't allow things to happen with ease and grace? Do you want to continue struggling and striving? Or do you want to actually learn that it is okay to accept love, that it is okay and safe for you to receive help from other people? And what I'm really hearing, it's like really acknowledge that pattern in yourself where you are denying yourself love, where you are denying yourself aid and help and connection, and really get honest about that and go, okay, maybe I do need to shift this. And how would my life change for the better if I allowed assistance to come into my life? Okay, so really allow yourself to get better at speaking and asking your needs, and you'll be amazed at how people respond and how things will start shifting for you that way, with more of that ease and grace in your life. You don't have to do it all by yourself. You don't have to do everything alone. So allow yourself to really tune into that, okay? So choose assistance, choose help. This does not mean you're weak. This does not mean you're being selfish. This means that you are actively participating in self-love and care by making sure your needs are met. And it's giving others this opportunity to give back to you. All right, so receive with that open heart, my friends. So next we have this theme of forgiving others. So this was very interesting. I'm seeing some of us go into this dynamic with family or friends this week where others might just not understand the journey we've been on. And especially when we come around the holiday season, we might be seeing other people we haven't seen for a long time. We might be traveling to see others who, you know, perhaps just don't understand what we've been going through or what we've been changing and shifting, and even just the spiritual aspects of self. And what I'm really hearing is allowing ourselves to be more accepting of where others are in their journey and forgiving others for what they don't know or understand, okay? So some of us might get our haunches up a little bit where it's like, oh my gosh, why are they giving me trouble about this? And why do they think it's funny that I'm spiritual? Or they're, you know, if any of these kind of dynamics happen this week, I'm just really hearing, let it just like water on a duck's back. Just let it run, let it go, let it flow. And it's like not taking those things personal and attaching stories where we don't need to. So I'm really hearing, let things go, surrender any hurt, and really let yourself come to this awareness of where you are in your journey and where others might be on theirs, and having that complete acceptance and love for where all are on their journey. Okay, so I wrote here, forgive others for where they are in their life and their level of awareness and their perceptions. Your purpose is joy, not to dwell on their negativity, their narrative, or perceptions of you, okay? So keep thriving. Don't let anyone's views question what you already know. So this was really beautiful. It's like, don't allow those doubts to come in. If somebody says something negative to you, if somebody says something that, you know, catches you off guard, allow yourself to not take on that energy, because we already know who we are. We already have done that work. We know, and we have that solid footing. So don't let anyone knock you back this week. Allow yourself to not take things personally and to stay in your integrity regardless. And really allowing yourself to showcase your greatness is so highlighted. So from this, we have a theme of seeing greatness, seeing the entirety of you, and embracing our true authentic selves, and triumphing over fears. So this was really beautiful because once again, we had so much coming in from fear-based perspectives, fear-based motivations, and this week I'm really seeing us take the lead in overcoming those fears and becoming motivated by that love of self to go, no more, no more. I'm not gonna stay small. I'm not gonna quiet myself. I'm not going to partake in things that are hurtful to me, that are very negative for me. I'm going to choose to place my power and energy into things that really do light me up, that showcase the fullness of who I've become. And I'm seeing this sense of pride that begins to really drop in, and it's really beautiful because we're really getting in touch with this now, and we're letting that light really shine from the heart space because we're really claiming our right to be here, our right to be in our greatness, our right to shine bright and go big. So it's really beautiful. So with that, I'm seeing a few suggestions come in here to help us really do this. And number one that was really showing up in the past few weeks has been positive affirmations. So once again, really going into how we're saying them and wording them in a way that really resonates with us, okay? So once again, we don't want to say an affirmation that doesn't resonate. So once again, if you find it hard to actually believe the affirmation you're saying, start off with wording your affirmation different. So if I love myself doesn't resonate yet, what's something that does? What's something you do believe is beautiful about yourself? And how can you start from there? So it's like, okay, I love my smile. And you believe that? Awesome. Start there and grow from there. The more positive vibrations that we bring in, the more positive love and reinforcement that we have through affirmation, the more we can start growing our affirmations. And then we can go, okay, I love and approve of myself. Saying that as often as possible. Whenever you think of it, oh yeah, okay, I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. And seeing how these changes begin to shift and happen in your external reality, the more you focus on your internal dialogue will be unbelievable. So I'm really hearing when those fears come in, replace the fear with a positive affirmation. So once again, if your fear is you are not safe, I am safe. How can you reinforce that in your life, right? I am safe now. I am safe now. And really reinforcing as often as you can the truth and what you actually want to start believing and partaking in right now. Very powerful. So once again, so much empowerment coming through. We also have this suggestion of participating and engaging in soul food. So things that really light up and nourish us on that soul level. So I'm seeing a lot of us need to listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks, read books, really just engage in very positive materials. So if you're someone you watch the news every night, well, probably not the best way to positively reinforce your energy. So what I'm hearing, it's like, how can I now shift to watching and engaging in materials that actually do fill my cup, that make me feel good? And I'm seeing us need to be more selective in what even media that we're participating in and actively taking in each day. So even who you're following on social media, is it positive? Are you getting a lift, or is it making you feel bad about yourself? Are you comparing yourself? All of these things we need to claim and own and go, okay, maybe I need to take a step back from this account. Maybe I need to unfollow some of these people that are just really negative, that kind of bring down my vibe. It's like, okay, let's make those course corrections and not feel bad about it. And what I'm really hearing is a lot of us need to do this so we can really make our life a positive one that really uplifts us and makes us feel those loving, beautiful energies that we want to live in, right? So once again, claiming and owning our power and our human experience. So my friends, that is everything I have for us this week. But before I close out, I want to grab us a card. So let's do that. So I'm going to shuffle us a little card here and see what wants to come in for any final messages. So what do we need to know for this week as we move into it? Okay, I'm going to, this is the one here. Okay, so we have Brothers of the Rose. Very nice. So we have Sacred Masculine, honor, protection, support. So yeah, very much about nurturing, really getting in touch with support. Okay, so once again, a few weeks ago, I was talking a little bit about the sacred masculine and how it's important to have that energy of I am safe, I am protector of my life, I am the one who's responsible for me and my forward action. And it's so beautiful because in the center of this, hopefully you can see that, we have a woman who is pregnant, right? So with that, it's like, looking after what we are trying to birth. So this is so perfect for what we've been talking about. It's like, how can I nourish myself before I birth this new version of me? How can I give myself my needs? How can I make sure that I'm taking care of this new baby, this new version of self before it comes into the world? And with that, feeling that protection, feeling that safety, and really honoring your needs. Okay, so this is so perfect. So that is all I have, my friends. I really hope you enjoyed this beautiful energy update. I'm wishing you all so much love and light and happy holidays. Let me know what messages resonated for you this week, and I love hearing from you. So have a beautiful day. Talk soon. Bye.